If you feel like you're constantly waking up sluggish, tired and unrested, trust me, you're not alone. There are several ways that you can fix this and overcome this issue. And to me, the most important part is the work you put in the night before, which is why today I'm going to be sharing my current night routine, as well as a few easy tips you can implement into your evening routine in order to make sure you have the most restful, relaxing evening and set yourself up for the best productive day. Hey, it's Joelle, welcome back to my channel. As I said before, I'm going to be sharing 6 easy tips with you to help you maximize, optimize your nighttime routine. Without further ado, let's get into it. So tip number 1 is to plan your night around your day. Everybody's life is very different. Everybody's responsibilities, duties, commitments are going to be very different. It's really important that whatever you do in your nighttime or evening routine is specifically optimized and fit in around what you have to do in the day. There are going to be variations depending on how your schedule is throughout the week in terms of like what time, for example, you're going to start your evening routine. For me, I work like 3 to 4 times a week, so I often get home quite late in the evening. It's anywhere between 6 and 9 o'clock. At this point, very tired from having gone to work, probably having done studying, uni, etc, etc. And there are even days when I come home from work where I have a really short turnaround before I have to start working again, because I am a tutor, so I do like tuition lessons and stuff. So sometimes when I get home, it is really hectic. I don't really get switched off immediately. That is something you might want to take into consideration if you do any kind of like working from home or hybrid working. Do think about how far you are willing to let your work bleed into your nighttime, and also how you're going to switch yourself off going forward. My second tip is to replenish and refuel. I don't know about you, but I am the biggest big back individuals. Like, I have to eat, especially after I've been at work for like anywhere upwards of like 6 hours. I need to come home and eat. Now I know that it's very difficult sometimes to want to come home and cook something super like elaborate or like fancy. Obviously, like the ideal situation would be that you're like meal prepping and you have like a bunch of things you can just heat up, stick in the microwave. But I know that realistically speaking, a lot of people struggle with that. As long as it's something that refuels you, replenishes you, makes you feel like, you know, really edified, and like that is the most important aspect of any meal. A lot of the time, I can't be asked to make something super cool. I literally go to the supermarket and get something really quick. I can literally go in the oven or go in the microwave or whatever. Even though it's not the best thing, most like healthy option, is very convenient, and sometimes it is just about having those little things that make your routine just a little bit more convenient. I come from a Black Caribbean household. Food is a love language in my culture. I see eating as a form of self-care. So for me, getting home, and even if it's something really basic and like not that good, the fact that I'm sitting down, taking the time to make myself something nice to eat, and then taking the time to sit down and eat it without rushing myself and without having to do anything for anybody else. Another reason why I feel like refueling is so important, and maybe this is just me being big back, I found that when I don't eat properly, I go to bed kind of irritated, and then I'll wake up in the night hungry, or it'll take me ages to get to sleep, and I'll wake up really tired and super duper like pooped because I've not had anything between like lunchtime and then the next morning. I think it really does make a difference. I've noticed a really big difference in the way that I sleep when I've eaten a proper meal before I go to bed, as opposed to like just having a snack or not having anything at all. Step 2, replenish yourself. Number 3 is to ready yourself. Kind of boring but necessary parts of any night routine: preparation for the next day. This can take the form of meal prepping, like I mentioned earlier. So even if you don't meal prep for like the whole week, making something quick the night before, refrigerating it so you can just take it out, put it in your bag when you're on the way and you're ready to leave the house. Taking out clothes, organizing your outfit, and even if you're not going to pick the clothes out physically, mentally making a note of what you want to wear. It takes a lot of like mental labor out of the following morning. Another thing, planning your day out, thinking about the goals you want to achieve and the things that you're like intending to get done that next day. Like some people I know are very like, you just remember everything mentally. I can't do that. I need to make a note, just writing in a journal, making a to-do list. If you have like specific tasks you need to get done, if you have like meetings or appointments, it's a really good idea to just put it into your calendars. A written diary with like the dates in, or if you use like an online calendar, so like Google Calendar or the one on the iPad, I just stick any of my appointments, work, classes, so that throughout the day I can just keep track and know that I'm on time. I can plan my travel between things. These are really minor things that may seem really obvious, but trust me, they make all the difference. When you wake up the next day, you can get on your phone. If you don't remember what you have to get done, go to a notes app. There's a whole list of things. You know exactly what needs to be done, exactly where you need to be, exactly what you're going to be seeing, what you're going to be doing. Also, another thing when it comes to readying yourself, you may not be a student. If you have tasks you need to get done before the next day, now is a great time to do that. So tip number 4 is to relax. I mean this so seriously. Like, actually taking time to de-stress and like decompress from like the stresses of the day is so important. A lot of the time, like we might have really stressful days, we come home and our first instinct, I need to go to bed, but you get into bed and you still can't sleep even though you're super duper tired. A lot tends to happen when people aren't like taking the time in between getting home from a stressful situation and getting into bed to actually process the things that have happened and like rest from those things. When it comes to relaxation, I think for me that looks like you doing my hobbies. Honestly speaking, I'm a crochet babe, so I might just sit in my bed and crochet or like read something, and I could do that for like a good 30 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour. It's really important that you take time out of your day to just focus on doing things purely for enjoyment's sake, like things that don't take too much mental energy or mental capacity, things that just literally make you feel happy, things that keep you in the present moment, I think are really good to have in your nighttime routine, because a lot of the time the night is the only time we get to be by ourselves actually, and actually sit down and invest in ourselves. And I think it's important that you really do invest in yourself. I mean, cultivating a sense of self-worth, self-pride, embracing like the things that you can do, and embracing your hobbies and practicing your hobbies. And I don't know, like to me it sounds really like wishy-washy I guess, but I think it's really important. So I would definitely recommend you relax. And again, some people like to just sit and stare at the wall and that's how they relax. If that's relaxing to you, go ahead and do it. Do you know what I mean? If it means getting a cup of tea, coffee, sitting at your desk watching Netflix or whatever it is, watching YouTube videos, listening to podcasts, do whatever it is that makes you feel the most chilled out, because it will set you up for the best sleep, the best slumber. Tip number 5 is to reflect. I think the way that people reflect is so different. I think reflection can be a very emotional, very spiritual process depending on your own personal belief systems, whatever. I think it's really important that you give yourself space to really think about how you feel, how you're doing, how you're experiencing things and how you're processing things. I think sometimes we don't realize how much like energy we spend bottling up experiences and emotions that we haven't fully processed, things that maybe disturb us, upset us, frustrate us. Sometimes we have to take time, I think, to really sit down and think how things made us feel throughout the day. The worst thing is like getting to bed and then ruminating on stuff that happened in the daytime because you didn't take the time to process it before you got into your safe space. For me, reflection is a really big part of my evening routine. I like to spend time talking to God. I like to pray. If you want to know more about like how I pray and like what I pray about, but I think it is something that like I've really enjoyed because it gives me a forum to talk about my feelings, my experiences, my thoughts freely. I'm about being judged. I think there is so much power in releasing things from yourself, like even if they're positive things, letting go of certain stuff, letting go of energy, just so you can go back to sleep and rest. Which brings me to my final point, which is to rest. Rest is a big deal because you can sleep but not wake up rested. Take a nap and still feel tired or feel even tireder when you wake up. Being able to rest comes from feeling comfortable and feeling safe, and that's why I was putting so much emphasis on replenishing your body with food, relaxing yourself and reflecting on your emotions so that you can actually get into bed and feel comfortable. It's about making yourself literally feel as cozy and warm as possible. Not only is it like a spiritual and emotional thing, but it's also very physical. I like to make sure when I get into bed, I got my pajamas on, or a t-shirt or something, shorts, whatever, and my bed is warm. I like to sleep in a warm environment. Like, so I put my little fan heater on for a little bit. I might go and warm up my hot water bottle, put it in my bed, get it nice and toasty under there. I've got plushies, all that sort of thing. Like, I like to feel comfortable when I go to sleep, you know what I mean? Because I feel like it just makes a difference. Like, the quality of sleep is so good. You know them ones when you wake up in the morning and you just smile because you know you slept so good? That is what I aim for every single night. And there are other things you can do, like physically, to make your sleep a lot more comfortable. So I think I would really recommend investing in that, investing in your sleep, investing in good pillows, comfortable blankets, comfortable bedding. Making sure you're comfortable is top priority when it comes to resting and having a restful sleep. And it's actually one of the most important parts of my night routine, is literally just making sure I'm comfortable enough to rest and have a like relaxing, replenishing slumber. Okay babe, so that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I feel like I talked so much for so long. I really hope it was helpful for you and that you got some good tips from it that you might want to implement going forward. If you like this video, and I will see you next week with a little girl talk when we're talking about some interesting, controversial topics. So make sure that you stay tuned for next week when I'll be uploading that. I'll see you next time. Have a great week. Bye.